The nonprofit Labeled and Loved brings support to mothers of children with disabilities across the country, including right here in Las Vegas.
Julie Hornok, the co-founder of Labeled and Loved, is here with us today to tell us more about a meeting they've got coming up in the Valley and how you can join in and support the cause. Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you. Thank you for letting special needs mothers be seen.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what inspired you to start this.
Yeah, I have a daughter named Lizzie, and right after her second birthday, she was diagnosed with autism. And I had no idea how much that was going to completely change our lives. And so we went from just the normal play dates at the park to 30 to 40 hours a week of therapy. And as a mom, I just saw my daughter was hurting and I wanted to help her. And so I just poured myself into it to the point where I exhausted myself, and it was hard on my family. We were emotionally exhausted, physically exhausted, financially exhausted. And it was just really hard to think about the primary caretaker's burnout. And when my daughter got a little bit older and was doing a little bit better, I felt like I had a little bit of time on my hands. And what I wanted to do was give back and just really bring purpose to my pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, clearly you saw things that were not being met, that you needed support from, hence the starting this up. So what elements were there that were missing from your point of view, and what did you feel that the needs or support that weren't being met that you wanted to fulfill that gap?
Yeah, you see that whenever a child is diagnosed, immediately people jump in and they're like, okay, we have all these things for the children, which is amazing and wonderful and needed, but the primary caretaker, which is usually the mother, is left to just burn out. So what I wanted to do is to put together, and I joined with an amazing group of women, to put together events that really allowed moms to connect with each other and learn to be each other's lifelines. And there's over 20 million families with special needs in this country. So it's truly, caretaker burnout is like a crisis at this point. So I'm excited that Labeled and Loved gets to meet that need now.
Yeah, you've mentioned this caretaker burnout. Can you elaborate a little bit more about what that looks like and why it's so important to really talk openly about it and sort of tap into the community and the village around you?
Yeah, I mean, if you think through just when you become a mother, you have these expectations. And so caretaker burnout hits you in different ways. It can hit you physically, you can end up in the hospital, but lots of times it is seen in mental health. And so parents of families with special needs are 90% more likely to have anxiety, 95% more likely to have depression. So we see that that's because the expectations of motherhood have not been met. So we allow our moms to walk through a process where we really look at, okay, let's grieve those expectations. We're not grieving our children. We love our children. They're perfect. But let's grieve the expectations, and then that opens up joy and being able to see in front of you the life that you can begin to enjoy and how perfect your child is, even though it looks very, very differently than the typical parenting.
Yeah, Labeled and Loved, you know, you guys do lots of different things. You do the mingles, you do retreats, there's weekend getaways. There's also these Sisterhood Circles.
Yeah.
Could you walk us through in the audience at home, you know, what these are, how they look like, and how they help people?
Absolutely. Well, the biggest thing we have every year is a 3-day weekend retreat. And this retreat is just, you walk in, it feels like a big, warm hug, and it is an entire room of people who just understand. And there's something beautiful about walking in and not having to explain your life or explain yourself. And so we have programming that runs all the way through to walk them through those expectations, but then it's community building. We work on meeting another mom who will become your lifeline so you can move forward, and it benefits the whole entire family for that mom to be supported. And then we have the Moms Mingles, which is what we're going to have here on Sunday, which is very exciting. And that's just a free event, one night. Come, we cook for you, we care for you, we have a speaker, and then we just get to talk and get to build lifelines.
Nice.
For those out there watching who may not have a child with special needs, how can they also support your mission and what you're doing?
Absolutely. I mean, of course, everyone appreciates donations because that's what keeps us running. But we have this thing called the Encouragement Encounter. And with the Encouragement Encounter, you know, if you see a special needs mom out in the community and, you know, everyone wants to help, but they just don't know quite how to help. So we have a card, and you take that card and you just give it to her and tell her you're doing a great job. And that card makes her feel loved, makes her feel seen, makes her feel supported, and she can go to our website and begin to get real support.
We can't let you leave without mentioning the fact that you're about to, things are about to blow up for you, I'm sure in a big way, because you're about to be featured on Kelly Clarkson.
Yes, yes.
Tell us about that experience.
Oh, Kelly is amazing. She's just as down to earth as you think, and it was just an incredible thing for them to find us and to recognize the need for special needs moms, to recognize that they're unseen and they often go forgotten. And so now we feel 20+ million across the country feel seen and heard, and our stories are told, and that's a really beautiful thing. And the show was just an incredible, incredible experience for Labeled and Loved.
Awesome.
Yeah, that is so wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us and sharing your story, and we really hope the community shows up and can support what you're doing. Labeled and Loved will be holding a Moms Mingle event this Sunday from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. at the Canyon Gate Country Club in Summerlin. You can save your spot for free on their website at labeledandloved.org, as well as learn more about their mission.